How y'all doing? All right. How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Yeah. Good. Quick question, real quick. Can I get y'all to fill up the first 2 rows? Can y'all do that for me? Fill up the first 2 rows, 3 rows. Appreciate that. Perfect. All right. So, I'm David Chance. I'm super happy to be here, and I'm super excited to be able to teach you guys what I've learned in this entrepreneurial journey. Some of you have a job and a dream, and the hardest thing is to bridge that gap, right? Or have an idea and turn it into something, okay? So I'm going to go through a few principles with you guys, but it's going to be very interactive. Is that all right? Yes. So, like Devin said, you have to control the atmosphere. In any environment you go in, you have to control the atmosphere. So the one thing I said to Sylvester was, I need the lights to be turned up a little bit. Like, I need you to turn the lights on. Couple purposes. One, for the camera, because I can speak, but I'm a speaker, and if this isn't recorded or I can't see the light, it's not well lit, and I don't record it, it never happened. Because I'll be able to leverage this content, and I believe my content is valuable, and I don't want to lose it because I was afraid to ask somebody to turn the lights on. Some people would have just let it go and said, oh, well, that's just how things are. I said, no, we need these lights on. I asked you guys to move up to the first 3 rows for a reason. Because if the camera is hitting this way and people are spread out, it looks like nobody's here. However, if the camera's here and everybody's full, they have no idea how many people are behind us. And we can leverage this content. But I'm trying to get you guys to understand. I need you to be able to see what you need to happen in any environment. Control the environment. So I need everybody taking notes. Everybody you can grab a sheet of paper, pen, notebook on your phone, because I'm not an entertainer. And another reason we need the lights on, because I'm not motivational at all. So you'll fall asleep on me. I just don't need you falling asleep on this content. That doesn't work for the camera. Like somebody nodding, that's not going to work. So I got a few D's for you guys, okay? The very first D is decision. I want you guys to make a decision, a conscious decision. A conscious decision. I want you to, 1, decide that you're going to be successful, but then you got to decide what you're going to be successful in. I also want you to make a decision on how you're going to be successful. I want you to get very specific on these decisions. But the biggest thing, I think, which will be fitting for an audience this size, because I don't know you all, but I know something about you. I know that you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. Or you make a decision to do something, but as soon as you get another idea, you decide to do that one. Is that y'all story? I know, psychic, right? I need you to make a conscious decision. Listen, 2018, I'm asking you to make a decision. What is it you are going to spend the entire year on? The entire year. I need you to make a conscious decision that you're going to spend the entire year 2018 on something, because some of you do 2 or 3 things, 4 things every single year. You switch it up and you never give that seed a chance to grow. What if you put a seed in the ground and you're like, oh, you water it for a little while, and you're like, oh, it's not working. You take the seed up, then you plant it somewhere else. Or you go to a store and say, okay, these seeds aren't working. I'm going to stop watering that one. Let me go to the store. You know what? These new seeds just came out. I just seen somebody posting on Instagram about these new seeds. This is the seed. I got to get one of those. And you never give that thing a chance to grow. You don't even give it a chance. What if you had a child that was disruptive and you said, I think I'll just make another kid. This one's... Praise God, my mom didn't do that to me, right? She kept working with it. So I need you to make a decision. Write down what that decision is going to be. Write that down. I promise you I'm not going to be doing a whole lot. I believe you'll probably do more work in this session than I do. But I want this to be active. I need you to make a conscious decision. What is it that you're going to work on in 2018? Somebody volunteer.
Grow my credit repair business.
Grow your credit repair business. How long have you been doing it?
2 years.
Good. You know what your number is for this year, like what you're going to end up with financially or customers or whatever? You don't know? Write this down. You'll never grow if you don't know your numbers. You'll never grow if you don't know your numbers. How do we know what we're growing to? If we're not looking at the numbers to say, okay, I made $20,000 this year, and our goal next year is to grow, but we don't know we did 20, how do we know we grew? Is it a feeling? I feel like I grew this year. The truth are in the numbers. I need you to know the numbers. Everything you decide to do needs to have a number attached to it. Needs to have a number attached. That's how you know if it's growing or not. Would you agree? So I need you to look back over the year. How many credit repair clients have you had this year? Find out what we're going to grow it to and make the conscious decision that that's what we're going to do. Decisions. Life is all about decisions. If you draw the timeline of your life and you start to look at the wins and losses, you know, when things changed in your life, if you sat down and looked at the timeline on your life, you'll be able to find some things and extract things from your own story. Here's what I mean. I went to this boys' home. Me and Brandon, we went to this boys' home in, where were we? Florence, Alabama. And I asked the kid, how old are you? He said, I'm 15. I said, yo, look back 3 years. Can you remember when you were 12? He said, yeah, I remember when I was 12. I said, what were you doing at 12? He was like, I was playing video games, a lot of video games. I said, what about 13? He said, I was playing basketball. I was really into basketball at 13. I said, what about 14? He said, I was fighting. Ooh, we got a little data. What happened between 13 and 14 when he went from playing video games to landing him in a group home at 15? Something happened between 13 and 14. Would you agree? How'd you go from playing basketball to fighting? What happened in that year? He can extract some things from that timeline and apply it to right now. I'm looking at the timeline on my life when things change. Things change when I found a mentor. Everything in my life changed when I found a mentor. Which means if I want to take my life from where I'm at to the next, I need to find another what? Mentor. When I was working at the Cheesecake Factory, I made a conscious decision that I was going to be to work on time. I was late everywhere. And it wasn't really my fault. I think it was hereditary because my mom was late everywhere. It was crazy. It was in my blood. Like playing basketball, my mom would have me like the end of the first quarter coming to the game. Like, I'm like, Mom, come on. What are we doing here? I made a decision, not for the job, because it was okay for me to come 5-10 minutes late, because in the serving industry, if all your tables are full and the person who had your tables before that aren't done, you're going to sit around anyway. But I said, for me, not for the job, I'm going to be to work 15 minutes early every single day. So if I had to be to work at 5, my goal is to be there at 4:45. Here's what's so deep. If I got there at 4:50, I was early for my job, but I was still late for me, so I get pissed. Now, if we're going to make that decision, we have to find out what you're going to lose if you don't accomplish this goal. So my friends know I have a severe gambling problem. And in my coaching program, we gamble. So I told this one guy, fat boy, one of my coaching clients, he said he's going to lose 50 pounds in about 3.5 months. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, how sure are you? He said, I'm pretty sure. I said, let's bet 500. Let's get on the scale now, put 500 on it, and let's see where you are at 3.5 months. He had a problem. He lost a bunch of weight before, but then he plateaued for a while. And I said, how are we going to get over this plateau? He said, I don't know. I said, let's bet. The boy lost 50 pounds in 3.5 months because we bet 500. Now you're thinking, Dave, you lost 500. Well, not really. I have a coaching program. It's a little over $100 a month. Right? Because I helped Bobby lose 50 pounds in 3.5 months, yes, I lost the money, but just this past month, we brought in 20 new coaching clients. We turned that 500 using his story into 2,000 a month. It's a win-win for me. Yes. So I need you to find out what you're going to lose. So me and my partner, Janae, we have a bet right now. She said, I want to start going to the gym 3 days a week. I said, yo, so do I. She said, okay, no. First she called me and said, hey, I like this betting thing you're doing because I've been betting all my clients, like real gambling problem. One of my clients, Karen, I asked her to She said, I said, how much weight are you going to lose? She said, like 20 pounds in like 30 days or 15 pounds, 30 days. And I said, cool. Do me a favor. Take a picture of you in a bikini and send it to my email, right? And if you don't lose this weight in 30 days, I'm blasting it to all my Instagram followers. She lost the weight. She lost the weight. So right now, Janae called me. She said, hey, I want to lose 5 pounds a month. I said, cool. I'm with it. She said, well, I give you $100. If I don't lose 5 pounds, I'm going to give you $100 every single month. I don't lose 5 pounds. I said, bet. I ain't even got nothing to lose. But I set it up. I said, yo, I'm trying to go to the gym. You're trying to go to the gym. Here's our thing. Both of our goals to go to the gym 3 days a week. If she goes to the gym 3 days and I don't go 3 days, I go maybe 1 or 2, I have to give her $50. This is every week. If I go 3 days and she doesn't, she owes me $50. If both of us go to the gym 3 days a week, nobody pays anybody. If neither one of us completes the goal of 3 days a week, we both take our $50 and we give it to a charity. Where did I go when we went to the room? Gym. I went to the gym. Now, would I have done that if I didn't have $50 on the line? Probably not. I'm out of town. I'm chilling. But I went because something's driving me. I made the decision, and not only did I make the decision, I made the decision to lose something if I don't do it. Because what happens is you set a goal, and you don't reach the goal, and nothing happens. There's no consequences. You just didn't reach the goal. And then we set another one next year. Then we set another one the year after that. Then we set it. So we got to find something to lose. So do me a favor, write down a person. Matter of fact, grab your phone, send a text message to whoever your best friend might be, your spouse. Send a text message and say, let's bet. Now, I give y'all a little time to figure out what the bet's going to be, but I need you to initiate it right now because you might lose the feeling after you leave here, which is what happens at most motivational presentations. You feel all good inside, but by the time you get home, life hits you right in the mouth. Yep, life is waiting for you at the crib like, oh, I can't wait for it to come home. I can't wait. So I just don't want you to lose the feeling. So text whoever you're going to text and say, let's bet, and leave it at that. They will text you back and say, yo, bet what? What are you talking about? But at least you'll remember. Sound good? So we're talking about a decision. Very first thing is I need you to make a decision, and don't lay off that decision. The next D, division. You're going to have to separate yourself from some people. Like there has to be division. If you're going to grow, there's something you have to let go. Snakes shed. Caterpillars, they get rid of that shell and they turn into butterflies. There is no way you're going to grow unless you divide. That make sense? And I don't even have to spend too much time on here. You know what you need to leave in 2017. There has to be some sort of division. Do y'all know who you're going to divide from? You know what you're going to divide from? There has to be. You got to find something to lose. I'm asking you to find something to lose. Write down the word sacrifice. Now, a sacrifice is not, let me put it this way. I'm not real big on ice cream, right? So if I told myself, you know what? I'm going to accomplish this goal, or you know what? I'm going to give up ice cream. I'm just going to give up ice cream, and I'm trying to accomplish this goal, but I'm going to give up ice cream. But because I'm not really big on ice cream, it's easy. It's not really a sacrifice. You're going to go to the next level, you're going to have to sacrifice something that you love. God is talking to Abraham, and God says, Abraham, I want you to sacrifice your son. But he didn't leave it there. He said, I want you to sacrifice your son, comma, your only son. Indicating he ain't got no other kids. He didn't say, hey, Abraham, I want you to sacrifice one of your kids. I need you to sacrifice your son, comma, your only son, comma, who you love. I think the Bible is written very specific to let you know this is a true sacrifice. Abraham, I want you to sacrifice your son, your only son, who you love. Check it. That's how it's written. So you're going to have to cut from something. Listen, and I'm not just talking to y'all. There's some things I have to cut. I have a publishing company that does well. I just can't, I can't do it in 2018 because of where I'm going. And I can make some money. I have a partner. I can make some money on it, but I have to let it go. I could probably make a few $1,000s next year, but I have to let it go because my goal is to make $1 million in 2018. I'm not going to make $1 million holding on to a few thousand. But I love helping people get their story out. That's the problem. I love helping people get their story out. And it's a simple process. It's not even, and I have a partner that does most of the work. So it's not even a lot of pressure on me, but I'm starting to value my time. Every single thing that you spend time and energy on takes away from something else. Anything you bring onto your life in 2018, something will lack. Anything. You take on a new job, like if it's your family, you have a job, you take on a new job, you're going to take away something. You have a child, then you have another child. The time that you spend with the first child, you are sacrificing some of that time for the new one. Anything. If you're about to get into a new relationship, be prepared. Something is going to lack. You got to be prepared for that. And I'm not saying don't get into the relationship. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you need to understand. Like once you start to let something go, you need to replace it. But once you replace it, something else is going to lack. So we need to figure out what we're going to lose and what we're going to leave in 2017. What was the first D? Decision. Number 2? Division. Number 3, direction. Now this is the plan. Some people say, I'm going to grow my credit repair business with no direction. We came here from Atlanta. We had direction. The GPS said we're going to make this turn, then that turn, to get on this road and make that turn. And some people say, I just want to get there, but there's no direction. You got to create a plan. Write this down. Create a plan, but also write down, continue to refine the plan. We got to create a roadmap. What do you do first? What do you do second? What do you do third? My goal is to make $1 million next year, but I can sit down and show you, map out exactly how we're going to grow. And it's not even, here's the crazy thing. It's not even that I'm trying to net $1 million. I'm trying to gross $1 million. And for those that know business, you can gross $1 million and not make money. But I'm okay with that because the goal is to gross it. Because for 2019, I'll be able to tell the story on how I made over $1 million. This is a plan. In 2016, I wasn't talking about 2017 is going to be my year. I told my friend Pierre, I said, I'm not looking to explode in 2017. In 2017, I'm going to lay a foundation. I'm working for 2018. I said this in 2016. So I knew there was going to be some things I was going to have to purge. There was going to be some things I'd have to leave in 2016. There was going to be some things I had to work on. I had to work on my speaking ability. I had to work on my presentation. I had to work on my sales skills. I had to work on my content creation. I had to work on time management. All of 2017, I was laying a foundation for 2018. The problem is we're so focused on making it big in 2018 instead of digging in the ground to set a foundation for the next year to stand on. Make sense? So some of you, your goal shouldn't be to make X amount of dollars in 2018. You should be working in 2017, planning in 2017 for 2019. Let's think a year ahead. Does that make sense? But we're going to have to come up with a plan. We have to come up with a plan. We got to create a clear direction. Lastly, destination. I honestly probably should have started with destination because I need you to know where you're going before you hop on the road. And the problem is we don't know where we're going. And I'm not picking on you, but we'll say some stuff like, I want to grow my business. But to what? If we don't know what the destination is, we can't work backwards. So if the goal is to go to the NBA, you should probably be a shining star in college. If you're going to be a shining star in college, you should probably be a shining star in high school. If you're going to be a shining star in high school, you got to at least make varsity. If you're going to make varsity, you got to at least make JV. If you're going to make JV, you got to make freshman team. And how are you, an 8th grader, going to make the freshman team in high school? Well, we sit there and shoot 200 jump shots every day. It makes it easier to know what to do right now if we know where we're going. It's a plan. If you know the destination, you can work backwards to what am I supposed to do today? The goal is to make $100,000. Well, we need to know, we need to figure out a way to make $275 a day. But $100,000 is $8,333.34 every month. We break that down into a day. Now we know what to do. If the number is $275 per day, now we got to make activity goals. What type of activity will produce $275? Because it's still a cool goal. Okay, great. We're going to make $275. I know my numbers, but now we need to know, what do I have to do to create this success? So write this down. I want you to have activity goals, not reward goals. So my goal is to bench press a certain amount of weight. That's my reward goal, but I'm not focused on the reward. My goal is to go to the gym 3 days a week. Because I can't, for some reason, I can't necessarily control when I'll be able to bench press this amount of weight. Or you might say, my goal is to sell 5 books a day. My goal is to sell 5 books a day. Well, if you talk to 5 people and they don't buy, that means your activity is based on their decision to buy, right? But if your goal is to say, I'm going to expose 10 people a day, that you can control on your own. And if you're exposing 10 people a day, it should come up with some type of reward, right? But in the process of getting a reward, you're getting better at sales, you're getting better at presentation, you're getting better at describing what your book is about, you're getting better at approaching people. So now we got activity goals. That you can control 100%. Yep. Because you'll expose 5 people, but your goal is 10, and you'll be home at 8 o'clock, and now you got to make a decision. Do I go to Walmart right now with my book and just talk to people? I'm not worried about the sale, but I got to walk up to somebody, hey, I got this book. And you could say, listen, I was talking to this guy. Okay, this might be an icebreaker. I was talking to this guy, and he said, my goal is to expose 10 people a day to my book. Do you mind if I tell you about my book? You'll get it done. What you don't know is you'll probably make some sales off of that approach. I got this from Jim Rohn while I was in network marketing. He said, set the activity, expose 10 people to your business, because chances are if you get 10, if you tell 10 people about it, 2 people will probably buy. And he said, go up to somebody and say, hey, I want you to come see this presentation. Not for me. I don't care if you join, but my mentor said I got to expose 10 people and 2 will actually sign up. So I just need you to be a part of the 8. Hey. Just be a part of the 8 for me. Yeah. I don't care if you sign up, but I got to do this work.
Yeah, right. Sure. I like that.
That making sense? So destination. They do not build a house until it's finished. No one builds a house until they finish the house. What does that mean? You finish what it's going to look like before you start building. You map it out. Say, we're going to have these type of floors, blueprint. This is how many rooms. This is how high, right? You map it out. Then you start working. You don't start it till you finish it. Don't start 2018 until you finish it. Until you get an idea of what it's going to look like at the end of 2018, don't start. January 1st will be here quickly. I'm asking you, do not let January 1st get here until you finish 2018. What was the first D? Decision. We are going to make a conscious decision to do what in 2018? Somebody talk to me. What are we deciding to accomplish in 2018? To be successful. What does that mean? Remember, we was talking about goals. Need to have a number.
Yeah, specific.
Say it again. So we need to refine the plan a little bit, because people say stuff like, I want to be rich. What does that mean? Exactly. What does rich mean? What does successful mean? Some people don't know what success means to them. So how are you going to be successful? You don't know what it... You think $100,000 is successful until you make it. And you're like, I quit my job for this. 100,000 in entrepreneurial world is not the same as 100,000 on a job. Trust me. It's somewhat poverty sometimes. Right. Especially if you don't know your numbers. Because it looks good. And you're making a bunch of sales, but you don't know your numbers, so you don't know if you're up or down. And at the end of the month, you're trying to figure it all out. Ask me how I know.
How you know?
Decision. Let me hear some decisions. What are we doing?
Budget.
Say it again? Budgets. Going to create a budget for yourself. I love it. Good. Don't let 2018 get here without that budget. No. Who else?
Building a team.
You're going to build a team. Who do you need?
Everybody.
Ooh, maybe not. Sometimes, the more people, the worse it gets. You got so many people coming together, like doing too much. Then you got to manage people. If you're spending time managing people, you can't manage the business. So I need you to know who you need. Because it's cool to say, okay, I need a team, but what does this team comprise of? I know for me, all I need is Brandon, videographer, and I need my partner Janae with logistics and filling in the details. Because I'm like the go guy. Brandon catches me, go. He catches it, he records it, puts the content out. Janae slows me down, says, hold on, but you missed a few steps. Okay, I'm going to send the emails because I don't read emails. She's like, okay, I'm going to reply to all the emails. I'm going to get these things going. I know I need Janae to remind me of the stuff that I said I'm going to do. But I know all I need is those two people. We can go make $1 million next year. But I knew it before they came. I knew I was unorganized. I knew I had a hard time replying to emails. I knew I had a hard time staying on task. So I need somebody to help me do that. I'm spending a lot of time creating my own content. A lot of those videos you saw, I made those. But I was spending so much time creating content, I said, goodness gracious, if I can find somebody to help me create content, I can go build. We took, prime example, I knew I needed those two people. I started a coaching program. It was $300 a month, and I had 8 clients, driving me crazy. 8 clients. I just couldn't handle 8 clients because I got to worry about like their payment coming every month, and like it was just crazy. We're right now at 123 clients because I got those 2 other people. Yeah. Thank you. I'll tell Janae, y'all gave her a round of applause. Okay, that was for Janae and Brandon. Because remember, by myself, I could only get 8, driving me crazy. But now we can go to 1,000 if I got those 2. Yep. Decision. Division was number 2, right? What are we leaving in 2017? Some of these other businesses. And I'm talking about, it took me a while to come to grips with the fact that I got to leave some of these ideas alone. Because creativity, gift and a curse. Yeah. Man, it's a gift because you can come up with stuff, but it's a curse because you come up with stuff. Oh, man, gift and a curse. And I gotta do some division. What are we leaving? Somebody talk to me. Family. Tough, ain't it? Procrastination. How are you going to leave procrastination or separate yourself from that?
Doing it when it comes to me.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Especially if we've been procrastinating our whole life. It's going to be hard to make a decision in 30 days to not procrastinate anymore. So what I'm asking you to do is to pick 1 or 2 things you're not going to procrastinate on. You can still live your procrastination lifestyle. But these 1 or 2 things, diets work best when you don't go cold turkey. When you say, okay, no more chips. No more chips and no more sweets. I'm still going to eat all the stuff I'm not supposed to eat, but these 2 things, at least we're starting with a foundation. Because we can't say, I'm just going to stop procrastinating. It'll be tough. Okay? 1 more? Division? What are we separating ourselves from? Netflix. Yeah, Netflix. I see you're married, so you might want to talk to your wife. You never know. but if she's okay with it, cut it off. And she'll be okay if you paint a picture of what that looks like. Ooh, so y'all might have seen it on one of my videos. I was asking a group of kids, I said, how much does your TV cost, right? And the kid's like $300, $400. I said, no. I'm not asking you how much it cost you. I'm asking you how much it's costing you. How much is your TV costing you? Cool story. My mentor said, listen, if you cut off the TV, you cut off your cable, stop watching so much TV, you can make $100,000 a year. At this point, I'm making $30,000 a year on my job. My mentor says, if you cut off the TV, you can make $100,000. I believed him. I cut off the cable. So I was watching YouTube every day, like Jim Rohn and, these speakers and motivation. And after a while, that gets old. So I started doing work. I started building my business. The next year, I made over $100,000. That TV was costing me $70,000. If I didn't cut off the TV, I'd probably still make $30,000. But I cut off the TV, went from 30 to 100, which told me every year that TV was costing me $70,000. What's your TV costing you? There's some things that are costing you. Relationships are costing you. You need to start to put a value on it. What is this relationship costing me? What was number 3? Direction. Are we going to put a plan together?
Yeah.
Do we know how? Because we can't start saying stuff like, I want to be successful, because that's not a plan. That's a destination. And a lot of times it's not even really a destination because you don't even know how to get there. You don't know like what even that looks like. So if you don't know what it looks like, you don't know how to map it out. So if our destination is 100,000, we can plan that out. But everything you do needs to be mapped out. We can start with our day. We can start with having a plan for our day. Can we create a direction for tomorrow? Like, can we figure out what we're going to do Saturday, today? It's going to be very difficult to find out what we're going to do in 2018, right? Can we map out our day? So we can start right here with saying, this is what I'm going to accomplish tomorrow. And even if you don't accomplish it all, it's okay, but at least you're starting the journey. And I need you to speak it. Like, write it down and then say it out loud. There's a scripture that says, let the weak say, I am strong. Speak those things that be not as if they were. Let the weak say, I am strong. Speak those things that be not as if they were. So right now, you are not financially secure. But I need you to just say it. Let the weak... Absolutely. Every single day. Let the weak say, I am strong. That indicates if someone that's weak says, I am strong, I am strong, I am strong, I am strong, one day they'll be what? Strong. If somebody that's weak continues to confess, which is truth, I am weak, I am weak, I am weak, they'll probably stay detention. This is another D that I kind of slipped into those two, detention. And this kind of goes into the giving something up. You have to start to put yourself on detention from something. And detention is something you don't stay on forever, but weekly, you can say, okay, this week, if your goal is like weight loss or whatever, this week I'm not eating meat. You don't have to go vegan. Try it for a day or two. Put yourself on detention. It's something about denying the flesh of stuff. It's powerful. If you can ever get to a point where you like start to defeat your flesh, where your flesh says, this is what I want, this is what I want, even though you said you were going to not do it, your flesh just, Dre, she's sitting there mad. Because I put her on the spot. Yeah, she's having an issue with that. Right? But aren't we all? Our flesh says we want one thing. Our minds and our mouth says we want another. But it just takes day by day. I'm telling you, I'm not like trying to embarrass Andrea. I'm not trying to embarrass y'all. Because I struggle with the same thing. If you continue to follow me, you'll always know what I'm dealing with because I teach on it. I teach what I'm going through, what's worked. But I don't teach on it until I start to figure out how it works. Last thing, destination. When you get home tonight, I need you to figure out what that destination is going to be. And be as clear as possible. The destination might be a house. Well, we can get a little more clear. How big is the house? What side of town is the house going to be on? How much is the house going to cost us? How many rooms in the house? 1 level or 2. Is it going to have a basement? Be as specific about that destination as possible. I can say, I'm going to drive to Atlanta. Well, what time am I going to get there? What part of Atlanta what am I going to do when I get there? Be as specific as possible about that destination. So I guess we can do like a Q&A, maybe. Sylvester, maybe we'll do like a Q&A for like 5 minutes. But one, I'm just going to plug, go buy a shirt and a hat and a book or something from me. I just say it. Why not say it, right? I used to be nervous. Like, okay, guys, I got some product. No, I'm just going to ask you to buy it. This might help y'all with sales, right? Most people don't make sales because they don't ask for the sale. Like some people won't sign up for your credit repair business simply because you don't ask them. And we don't consciously ask. It's like people will come to my kiosk and I'll show them the shirts and say, hey, I got this shirt, and they're like, okay, cool, I'm not ready to buy one right now. And I used to just let them go. And I would go through that same process. And when they say, well, not right now, I'll just say, would you like to buy a shirt? You wouldn't believe how many people say, you know what? Yeah. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Some people say, okay, you know what? I'm going to come back and check you out. And here's the worst. When they say, do you have a website? That means they're not going to buy right now. I'm like, hey, I got all the products right there. Do you have a website? I'm like, yes, I do. Would you like to buy one now, though? You wouldn't believe how many people say, oh, yeah. Sure. Okay? Here's another note. This is for my salespeople. Or for the people that's not sales. Make them tell you no twice. So Sylvester, you say, do you want another drink? And they say no. Just make them tell you no twice. Because chances are, if you ask them again, they'll order another drink. It's the craziest thing. I can ask them, like, hey, would you like to buy a shirt? No, not right now. Are you sure? Would you like to buy a shirt? You wouldn't believe how many sales I make the second go around. Make them tell you no twice. But now I'm at the point where you got to tell me no like 4 or 5 times. Okay? So if people say they don't want like a hat with their shirt, you need to, yeah. Are you sure? Would you like to buy this book? You know? Why? Right? Make them tell you no more than once. That makes sense? Cool. So I guess we can go into Q&A. Cool. Y'all want to step? Yeah. We're going to do this together. This Q&A. Okay. Give the ladies a round of applause. Yeah. So about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, y'all. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna give you some chairs real quick. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. You married, ain't you? Oh yeah. I could tell. Because my man just sat there. I'm just playing. Okay. Right. Oh, okay. So questions. Let's do it. We got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. What we got? Yes, sir.
So I'm a firm believer that our success is in our habits. Can you share, or can all of you share, maybe the habit that has been most beneficial for you?
Absolutely. And what you said was success is in your habits, but so is also failure. So, like, there are some habits that we have, bad habits, that are killing our chances of success. And you know exactly what they are. There are certain habits. You come home, sit on the couch, drink a beer. It's a habit. It happens you pour up a glass of wine, sit on the couch. It's a habit. That's eating 3 hours a day. So you need to figure out what your habits are. Some of you will have a weight loss journey, but your habit won't allow you to. Your habit of like eating certain foods when you have a bad day. It's your habit. So what I want you to do when you get home is write down your habits, both good and bad. Write down your habit, because chances are you don't know you have a bad habit until you write it down and look at it. What are the bad habits? We have a habit of when we're in line, we just grab the little candy. How many people got that habit? Like, you're just there. Ain't nobody gonna raise their hand. Ain't nobody gonna tell her. She struggled with that thing. Like, it's just a habit. And outside of, like the candy or whatever, imagine how much money we're spending. Right? That can roll into a business. That can roll into a Facebook ad. You could put an extra $5 into a Facebook ad if we just stop grabbing the candy at the certain habits. All right? Questions?
On that note, what's some of the marketing strategies that you suggest or avenues?
Creating a culture. I'm real old school, word of mouth. And I try to create a culture around my brand of people that will talk about it. Like, you create an experience. Like, when they come into this bar, like, there has to be some sort of experience. And sometimes just asking, right? Tell somebody else. So I haven't really adapted into the new age form of marketing other than content. Content. I knew one of the keys to success is going to be creating content. That's why I knew Brandon had to be on my team. I had to find that guy. Here's the crazy thing. Once you start building and you start working and you create this culture and you start creating content, he found me based off what, Brandon? Content. He was like, y'all saw your videos. I got a bunch of videos up. There's a lot of speakers and people who sell a product that got no content up. So how do you expect somebody to trip on it? I get people all the time like, yo, I was watching another video and your video showed up. And how many people saw me for the first time based on like a video that led you somewhere? It's always one in the crowd. Like, I was watching ET stuff and your joint came. I create content. And I tag ET in all my YouTube videos. Because I want people to trip on it. And then I want people to like go onto my my YouTube and binge watch. Anybody binge watch any of my videos? Because the content is there. And if you create enough content, you can create a culture. Because you might find one that you like. Say there's one video and y'all don't like that one. Then you're not going to tell anybody. But what if there's 10 and you got 2 favorites out of the 10? You'll share the 2 with everybody. So 2018, some of you need to create that conscious decision of creating content. Yeah. I need y'all to buy a shirt after. I'm just going to keep dropping that. Studies show it takes somebody 7 times or 10 or 12 or 15. There are people who are joining my coaching program now that have been seeing it since March. And it just took them months to do it. There are people that are booking me to speak. They've been watching me for they've been seeing all my videos. They're like, okay, fine, I'll book you. Okay, so I'm going to need y'all to buy a shirt or a hat or a book because I don't want to take it back to Atlanta. Questions? That don't got nothing to do with nothing. You just got to keep throwing it out there. I don't got y'all funny. Any other questions? Yes, sir?
Cultivating a positive mind in a negative atmosphere.
Ooh, that's deep.
It's almost impossible. Your environment will change you before you change it. Just because you're warm-blooded and you come into a cold room, you're not going to turn the room cold. Does that make sense? If you want to be warm, you go to a warm room. If you want a positive mindset, you got to get around what? That's really the name of the whole game. Coming to stuff like this. The things that's going through your mind right now, right? It's not going through your mind at the club. It's a Friday night. You could have went into the club where you weren't thinking about this stuff. And then Monday morning, you're like, oh, I got to get out of this negative environment. I just feel so bad. I'm not as inspired as I need to be. But you made a decision to be in a place where you're going to be inspired. So certain flowers won't grow in certain environments. No matter how powerful that seed is, it's just not going to grow in the environment. And you could pray over it. You can give your affirmations. Hey, grow, grow, grow. And it just won't what? Grow. So you're going to force yourself to grow in a negative environment. I had to get away from division. There were some people on my division list. Here's a cool way to get out of that environment. You start moving in a direction, right? There's a way to get rid of people without getting rid of them. Without having a conversation like, yo, I can't hang around you anymore. Start moving in a direction and ask them to come along. I had one of my boys, he's like, yo, let's go to the club. I'm like, not this week, man. I'm working on this new business. I'm really trying to work on this business. But yo, just come over, man. You can help me brainstorm. He's like, I'm cool. Next week, hey, man, listen, I know you couldn't go last week. You try to go this week? You're like, nah, I can't, man. I'm going to one of my mentors' house. You want to come? Like, let's go to his house. Like, you going to talk about success? It's like, nah. And he kept calling and kept calling. And I kept giving him that answer. And guess what he did? I didn't have to cut him off. He cut himself off. You don't have to have the conversation. Hey, I can't talk to you anymore. You say, listen, you want to go this way? And they won't want to go that way. And they'll find other people to go that way. But now you got to figure out, okay, am I going to keep going in that environment? Because sometimes you'll be bored. You'll say, hey, man, listen, y'all, are y'all going to the club this week? Let's just go. Yo, it was like 2 years. I didn't party. I didn't go out. I made a conscious decision. And if I did go out, I went with a pocket full of wristbands so I can give a wristband to the DJ. And then I'm out. Yeah, so stop trying to force positivity in a negative environment. Jesus couldn't really do it. My man fed 5,000 people. But after he got done feeding them, he couldn't, he performed miracles in front of people. Still didn't convert them. What if he spent his time on in this particular city? Listen, I know y'all don't see these miracles. I'm gonna do miracles. Then you'll be relying on the miracles. How many miracles I gotta show you? Some people just are gonna turn a blind eye to it no matter what. You can't force that.